Start winning at the races with Daily Racing Form's new Mobile Pass performances, featuring exclusive buyer speed figures and expert analysis and selections. Go to drf.com/best and get the power of DRF in the palm of your hand.
Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, taking a look at race number 10 at Del Mar on Sunday. Let's throw up the field for the Grade 2 Del Mar Derby. 3-year-olds going 1 1/8 miles, and you have a little bit of everything in this race. We have several 3-year-old fillies taking on the boys, the 2 California Cook, the 3 Gwitty, and the number 7 Warren's Showtime. These fillies are capable of winning a race like this. They have a lot of quality, and they might get the right pace set up. We also have some horses dropping out of a very competitive edition of the La Jolla Handicap, Canderell, and KP All Systems Go. It's a fun betting race. Trip, distance affinity, and pace, I think, are going to be very important in determining the winner. And as we take a look at the Timeform US pace scenario for this race, the number 11 Margo's Boy is expected to be on the lead. I think this pace is going to be a little faster and a little bit more contested than Timeform US believes. Margo's Boy is a fast horse. He's stretching out. He showed sprint speed on dirt last time out, and he was one of the pace prompters in the Oceanside on opening day on turf at Del Mar 2 starts back. But there's a horse to his inside, the number 9 Dominant Soul, that is also pretty fast, coming off of a maiden win. I think Dominant Soul is going to try to keep Margo's Boy occupied early, and that could set things up for the strong closers, horses like California Kook and KP All Systems Go. And it might also help the number 1 American Farmer, who I believe will appreciate this 1 1/8 miles. He tried the distance 3 starts back on Tapeta in the El Camino Real Derby, and he was very wide that day and came with a strong run to finish second. Let's watch his most recent race on turf at Golden Gate Fields. It's a little stakes race, and he had a pretty nice trip, but he finishes it off strongly to win, and the 4th place horse came back to win with a 77 buyer to take 3 out of his last 4 races. That win came in a $50,000 non-winners of one other than entry-level optional claimer. American Farmer needs a little bit of a buyer boost as he steps up in class, but he might get the right base set up, and the 1 1/8 miles is well within his scope. A lot of folks are going to scoff at horses like California Kook and Warren's Showtime, Cal-bred fillies taking on open males in graded stakes. Don't be fooled. They're both very good, especially California Kook, who is second against males going this distance in the Snow Chief 3 starts back at Santa Anita, that race against Calbreds, and then she ran great in the Del Mar Oaks against open fillies last time out. We watched that race, and California Kook was last early. She has no early speed. She came so wide turning into the stretch that she is off the screen, but you're going to see her firing hard in the lane to finish second, just ahead of Warren's Showtime. She kicks like a mule in the stretch, is in very good form for Peter Miller, and her buyer speed figures put her right there with the boys in this race. Give her some pace. She'll come closing. The 3 is Gwitty, and of the fillies leaving the Del Mar Oaks, I like Gwitty the least. She just didn't really fire. She didn't have a great post position 10. She raced a bit wide, but she just seemed a bit flat that day, and I wonder if stretching her out to the 1 1/8 miles worked against her. Maybe she's a bit more effective at slightly shorter distances. She did run well against a nice filly in Laura's Light 2-back in the Grade 2 San Clemente, but that race was at a mile. I like her at shorter distances. She'll be a good price. She'll get the right pace set up. I'm not sure she's the strongest closer of the group. The number 4 Pixelate is an extremely strong contender, shipping from the East Coast for trainer Michael Stidham. Let's watch his race in the Grade 3 Kent at Delaware Park. He's in the Godolphin Blue Silks, and he's in between horses turning into the stretch. He can't finish with the winner Gufu, but that is a really nice horse that came back to run second in the Saratoga Derby with a 93 buyer, and that horse wants every step of a 1 1/8 miles. He's a true stayer. Pixelate showed good tactical speed in that race, sitting in the second flight while on the outside, came with the 3 wide bid. Didn't love that he hopped back to his left lead late in the game, but he gave it a good try and was easily second best. And not only did Gufu come back and flatter the Kent, but the 3rd place finisher Vanzi returned to win the Jersey Derby. Pixelate can get the jump on the true closers while still taking advantage of a fast pace, rating in mid-pack. The 5 is No Slow Mo, and No Slow Mo ran his fastest race in this race last time out at Del Mar. He earned a 78 buyer speed figure, first time blinkers, and running second in a maiden special weight. Yes, it was a maiden special weight, and not only was it a maiden special weight, but he got a fast and contested pace to rally into and still couldn't get up over Dominant Soul, who did all of the dirty work on the front end. I think Dominant Soul ran the better race than No Slow Mo. No Slow Mo might get the right setup here, but he's still a maiden, stepping up to face some really good 3-year-olds at an unfamiliar distance at 1 1/8. Canderell is the 6, and I was wrong with Canderell. I liked him last time out, coming off the heels of the Oceanside. I thought he ran well in the Oceanside on opening day. He swung widest turning into the stretch. He was second best to the favorite, a very talented horse, and Hit the Road. And I just thought he was primed and ready to go in the La Jolla handicap. And I think he might have just been in too tough that day. Smooth Like Straight's going to run Saturday in the American Turf at Churchill Downs. He won that race with an easy on-the-lead trip, and we all know the credentials of the runner-up Storm the Court, last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner, who is running in the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. Canderell was far from embarrassed finishing 4th. I still think he's going to appreciate getting out to 1 1/8. Dick Mandela keeps the faith. I might too, at a nice price. The number 7 in here is Warren's Showtime. We saw her run 3rd in the Del Mar Oaks, and maybe she moved just a little bit too soon into the teeth of that pace before being run down late. She is a hard-hitting horse that is equally adept on dirt and turf. The 1 1/8 is a little bit of a question mark. I kind of like her at slightly shorter distances, but she is going to be coming with a run in this race. I wonder if she has as much upside as some of the others. She's already started 12 times. Kiss Today Goodbye is the key to this race. He has run twice on turf in his career. He didn't run very well in either one of those starts. It's possible he's a much different horse now. His last race came in the Shared Belief Stakes. He earned a 101 Beyer speed figure, earning a stakes placing. But more importantly, look at the horses he was in against. He was in against 1,000 Words and Honor AP. Both are going to run in the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. Kiss Today Goodbye was only beaten less than 2 lengths by those horses. He ran really well, and if he can transfer that dirt form to turf, a big if, he becomes a major player in the Del Mar Derby. Dominant Soul is the number 9. We talked about him as a pace presence, and let's watch his maiden win in his 8th lifetime start last time out. He went to the front, and he carved out some legitimate fractions. 46-2 for the half, opened up at just the right time, and holds sway over No Slow Mo. This horse is fast out of the gate, and I just can't see them rating him. I think they're going to try to send him and go after the 11, and it could set things up for other horses. He's tried horses like KP All Systems Go and Haywood's Beach, who we'll get to in a minute, and he just hasn't been able to get by them. He's taking a step up in class. As for Haywood's Beach, I like this race that we're going to show right now. It was at 1 mile, and it was an entry-level optional claiming race. The pace was not very fast in this race, and Haywood's Beach sat in mid-pack. He's going to surge late to beat a decent runner. The runner-up came back to finish 3rd with an 84 Beyer speed figure. I believe that Haywood's Beach has a good amount of upside, and he was far from embarrassed in his start going 1 1/8 3-back, and in his start going 1 1/8 in his 3rd lifetime start. He'll get the distance, and he has some tactical speed as well. He's a bit of a sleeper. Margo's Boy is the number 11, and Margo's Boy is going to be part of this pace, even with the blinkers off for trainer Craig Lewis. He tried to push the pace on dirt last time out. It was his dirt debut. It was an experiment. It didn't work out. He's a better horse on the turf. If the Timeform US pace projector is right, there's a good chance that he could steal away to an easy lead, slow the pace down, and sprint on home. They tried that in the Snow Chief, and he was able to be run down by California Kook. I'm concerned that the pace will be too fast for him. KP All Systems Go might very well be the horse to beat. He ran 3rd in the La Jolla last time out. Let's watch that race. It was almost as if he was ridden for a minor award, and the connections thought that Smooth Like Straight and Storm the Court were too tough. He's last and in behind horses on the far turn. He comes very wide into the stretch, and he's moving at the end of this race to run 3rd, despite on his left lead for most of the way. He finished ahead of Canderell. He earned an 89 Beyer speed figure, but his lousy outside post position also almost ensures Abel Cedillo to find a similar trip, and that is to take him back to last, hope the pace is fast, hope he gets a right trip without losing too much ground or getting stuck in traffic. He's a major contender in this race, but if he's a relatively short price, I'm not sure if he has such an edge, and I'm worried about what trip he's going to get from the outside post. I'm going to stick with Canderell. I respect Dick Mandela immensely, obviously. I think this horse ran okay against good horses last time out in the La Jolla. I'm still taken by his effort on the Oceanside. And best of all, he's going to be a good price. He's my upset play in the Grade 2 Del Mar Derby. Race 10 on Sunday is an approximate post time of 5:30 Pacific. Best of luck.